Okay, quick disclaimer before we begin. This video will contain themes of sexism, neglect, favoritism, and death. And a warning for flashing lights because I forgot to record my drawing process, but luckily the program I use has a built-in screen recording, but it will possibly be flashy and choppy. The sisters are a group of she-cats who travel together without toms. The sisters are heavily spiritual with abilities or powers. For example, the she-cats can summon spirits of their ancestors, while the toms who don't live with them, we'll get into that later, can talk to the land. One of the sisters' beliefs is about how no tom should live with them unless they are a kit under the age of 6 moons or a rogue or loner who is having kittens with one of the sisters. Even at that, the toms can't stay forever. Toms are trained with basic survival skills like hunting, fighting, and healing, as well as being taught to talk to and guard the land. Toms are trained like this till they reach the age of 6 moons, so apprentice age. Once they reach the age of 6 moons, they are sent on what the sisters call a wander, basically sending a baby, in the Erin's point of view, out to fight for their lives. In the real world, 6 moons is almost adult, but in the Erin's perspectives, they're still tiny little babies. That's pretty weird, but also, why just the toms? Here's where we get into heavier topics. In the novella Tree's Roots, Tree was originally called Earth. Earth and his best friend Stream have been training together throughout their kithood to get ready for their wander, but suddenly a terrible thunderstorm hits, and Stream, along with another kit, a she-kit, Haze, unfortunately die. The leader of the sisters, Moonlight, who is also Earth's mom, comforts the mother of Haze, saying that they'll sing to the stars and call upon Haze to come see us one last time. But when she goes over to comfort Stream's mother, all she says is, "He guards the land now." Earth realizes how messed up that is and confronts his mom, who replies, "Toms have a different destiny. You are a lot like your father." So just from that, you can already kind of see the blatant disregards towards toms. But that's just the beginning. Moonlight sends Earth off on his wander with basically no experience and just says goodbye before telling him to leave everyone he loves and to walk all night and never look back. Earth finds his father on his journey, and after he's cornered by a group of dogs. Earth's father, Root, tells him how Moonlight loved him, and then when the sisters had to travel, she abandoned him. When Root found out that Moonlight, the mother of his 3 children, 1 tom and 2 she-kits, kicked out the only tom, Earth, just because he was a tom. Earth and Root are both reasonably outraged at this, and Root tells him he needs to put the sisters behind him and make his own destiny, saying he should rename himself to lose all trace of the she-cats who kicked them out. Earth agrees, renaming himself Tree. Along Tree's journey, Root dies, and Tree decides it's too much of a pain to love others and sets out alone for his wander. Along his journey, he meets Pebbleshine, a Sky Clan she-cat who got lost on the clan's journey to find the other clans while bearing kits. Tree questions why she's alone and wonders if her group kicks out she-cats, which Pebbleshine is dismayed and is like, "What?" From what you can tell, if you know anything about favoritism or sexism, is that this is matter-of-factly unfair. Now, everyone who's never read Tree's Roots or only read Squirrel Flight's Hope, that has a lot of drama regarding the sisters, probably arming the paragraph-long replies yelling at me. And yes, that's reasonable because that's your opinion. But also, I love the sisters. I think their whole culture is unique, but I want to address this problem because it's giving me huge red flags. Kicking out toms as soon as they can fend for themselves, not honoring the tom's death properly, and forcing them to follow the outlines they've set for what they must do. When that's just not really true. To top it all off, I have another scene for you. This is pretty early on when Earth went on his wander before he finds Root and before he changes his name to Tree. A Warrior's Spirit, Chapter 6. By the next morning, the sense of the sisters he'd been following became stronger. He and Earth realized that they had made camp. Earth's ears flatten and he crouches lower, thinking what if they thought he was attacking them. Earth rips at the ground and he wonders why they don't want him just because he is a Tom. He lashes his tail and turns away from the moor. Earth decides that he will leave before the sisters got a chance to tell him to get out of camp and turns back towards the moor. Earth strides out onto the moor and a fierce yell makes him spin around. Ice glares at Earth, then recognizes him and asks what he's doing here. Earth is happy to see her well and purrs. Ice asks if he'd come to see her again, as they didn't get a chance to say farewell when Earth had started his wander. Earth sighs, saying that he wanted to see every cat again. Ice tells him that he should be on his wander. Earth hangs his head, stating he can't do it as he's lonely and scared. Ice is sympathetic, suggesting he try wandering in a different direction since other Toms might be out there. Earth sharply asks how she knows they are out there, stating they could be dead, Everkits, kitty pets, and that the sisters don't care. Ice protests that they do care about Toms, but sending them away is tradition. Earth says he wants to go back to the sisters, but Ice tells him that he can't. He has to wander and guard the land. Earth feels miserable, and Ice hesitantly asks if she can help. Earth tells his sister that she can't do anything, and that he'd wanted to see her. Ice states that she's glad to see him too. Ice hopefully asks if she will be okay, and Earth states he will, aware he is lying. Earth says he guesses they won't see each other again, and stirs to turn away as Ice answers that she hoped it wasn't true. Earth looks straight ahead and quickly walks ahead. Ice glares at Earth, then recognizes him and asks what he's doing here. Ice tells him that he should be on his wander. Ice is sympathetic, suggesting he try wandering in a different direction since the other Toms might be out there. Earth sharply asks how she knows they are out there, stating they could be dead or Everkits, kitty pets, and that the sisters don't care. Ice protests that they do care about the Toms, but sending them away is tradition. Earth says he wants to go back to the sisters, but Ice tells him that he can't. He has to wander and guard the land. With this context, you can tell that even when they are sympathetic, they really don't care and don't care to see what the Toms might be seeing, while also saying they must follow tradition. That's my major problem with the sisters. Feel free to leave your opinion down below. I really think this is an interesting topic that isn't discussed enough.